Michigan health officials have now issued a new statewide mask mandate after the state Supreme Court struck down the governor's coronavirus-related executive orders. Let's discuss this and more with Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Governor, thank you so much for joining us. We watched last night as the still contagious President Trump removed his mask immediately upon returning to the White House. How much more difficult does it make your effort to mandate masks in Michigan when the President of the United States repeatedly rejects the practice and says, and I'm quoting him now, "Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it dominate your life"?
I mean, from day one, from the beginning, when they started politicizing masking, they've undermined our efforts all across this country to get our arms around COVID-19. We are the most powerful nation in the world. We should be leading in this space, and yet we are lagging other countries. We see an outbreak in the White House that is bigger than what some countries are confronting. The incredible irresponsibility coming out of this White House and effort to undermine masking in America is even happening while the president himself has COVID-19. It's unconscionable.
Parts of your state, Michigan, were hit very hard, as we all remember, by the pandemic back in the spring. You're fighting off another uptick, we're told, right now in cases. President Trump says this virus is nothing to be afraid of, while he's receiving unparalleled care, including treatment that is not available to the public. Do you worry the president's comments, though, will give Michigan residents a false sense of security about what's going on right now?
My worry is comments are going to give a lot of people a false sense of security, but certainly I'm most concerned with what's going on here in Michigan. We are seeing our COVID numbers at a concerning level. We've been leading much of the nation after we went through the horrific beginning of COVID back in the spring, and our economy's come back on track and we've pushed our numbers down, and yet it's all very precarious. And every symbol or comment that comes out of this White House threatens to undermine that. We know that to this day, the most effective tool we have is a mask. That physical distancing remains important. That contact tracing is critical. This White House is undermining all of these efforts, and we see that being emulated by Republicans on our local level as well. On the very day that the president was admitted to the hospital for succumbing to COVID-19, our Supreme Court voted on a party line vote to undermine the executive orders that I've been issuing. We're going to keep moving forward. I've got a Department of Health and Human Services that has additional orders. We are going to use every power to keep people safe. But these efforts and actions from the White House undermine all of that work happening across the country.
I'm just curious, as we all remember 4 years ago, then candidate Trump carried your state of Michigan. It was a big surprise, as we all remember. How does it look right now from your perspective?
Well, we're seeing incredible turnout when it comes to people that have requested absentee ballots and have already turned them back in. Now in Michigan, you can show up today and every day between now and Election Day and vote in person. That's a tool that was not available to us just 4 years ago. And so I really believe that we are going to see an unprecedented historic turnout. When the president won by less than 11,000 votes, 2 years later, I won by more than 400,000. This increased turnout gives me lots of reasons to feel optimistic. However, we can't take anything for granted, as we learned 4 years ago.
I know that's absolutely true. Governor, as usual, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it very much.